Hello everyone, welcome back to Radheshyam Legal. In today's video, we will see the stages of civil suit and let's understand it in a simple way. If you are curious to know how civil cases progress in civil courts, this will be really helpful for you. Before learning the stages of civil suits, let's understand what is meant by a suit. Interestingly, CPC does not define the term suit, but in simple words, a suit under CPC is a legal action started by presenting a plaint in civil court to enforce a legally recognized right or to seek relief. Here, plaint is presented by the plaintiff whose right has been infringed, and the competent court here means a court which had proper jurisdiction to hear that particular matter. Next, we'll see key components of a suit. A suit typically involves parties to the suit, that is, plaintiff who files a case through plaint, defendant against whom the case is filed. Next one is cause of action, reason for filing a suit. Third one, subject matter in dispute, means regarding on what matter or on what subject the dispute arises. And the fourth one is relief claimed, what relief the plaintiff wants to claim exactly. To understand this, let's see, for example, here, A files a suit against B claiming ownership and possession for a residential property. If C, A is a person staying in a residential property, which means his home, then B is a person comes to A's house and said that this property belongs to me and gave warning to vacate the house. Now, what A should do? He can immediately file a suit in a civil court against B. Here, A is a plaintiff and B is a defendant. Cause of action arises on a day when B came to his house and demanded that this property belongs to him. Here, residential property, that is A's house, is a subject matter in dispute. Now, what relief A can claim? He can claim for temporary or permanent injunction, which restrains B from entering into his property. Now, let's move on to the stages of the civil suit in CPC 1908. Let's apply the same example here also. First step here is cause of action. In the previous example, cause of action arises on a day when B demanded and threatened A that this house belongs to me. Now, the next step is filing of plaint, which is mentioned under Order 7. Institution of any suit is started by filing a plaint. We all know that. In our example, A is a plaintiff who files a plaint on B. But what are the contents to be mentioned in plaint will be explained clearly in Order 7, Rule 1. Next step is scrutiny and registration by court. After filing a plaint in civil court by plaintiff, court will not directly accept it. Our plaint will undergo scrutiny. The court checks whether about jurisdiction, which is very important, whether it paid proper court fees, maintainability. If all are correct, then only plaint will get admitted by the court. Next step is issue of summons, which is mentioned under Order 5. Court sends summons to defendant B to appear before the court. Next step is written statement by defendant, which is mentioned in Order 8. After receiving summons, defendant B should file a written statement. We know under Order 8 as a defense, like denying A's ownership. If A didn't file written statement, court may proceed to the ex parte. Next is replication by plaintiff, if any. This is not a compulsory stage. A plaintiff may file a replication if necessary to counter new facts which are raised by the defendant in his written statement. Next is framing of issues, which is mentioned under Order 14. This step is done by the judge. Court identifies all the disputed questions and frames the issues. This issues only determines the scope of the trial. Next is a evidence stage, which is mentioned under Order 18. Here, court verifies and listens plaintiff evidence and also defendant evidence. Examinations and cross examinations, everything, witnesses, everything happens here. Next stage is final arguments. Here, in this stage, where lawyers on both sides argue on laws and facts, they will present citations, judgments, and provide CPC provisions which are all needed. After listening all this, the judgment will be pronounced in the later stage, which is mentioned in Order 20, where court decides who owns the property. Judgment contains all issues, findings, and reasons. And the next stage is execution stage, execution of decree, which is mentioned under Order 21. For example, if A wins, degree for possession will be given and court officer will come and removes B and hands over the possession to A. I think everyone understands the stages of civil suit. Thank you all. Bye.